A shooting in Columbia in broad daylight. Good evening, I'm Alicia Barnes. Columbia police are investigating a shooting at Walmart on Garners Ferry Road at this time. ABC Columbia's Beth Russo is there live right now, and she joins us with the very latest in the investigation. Beth?
Hey, Alicia, just a little while ago, we watched CPD, the Columbia Police Department, tape off this area outside the Walmart on Garners Ferry Road so that they could collect evidence for what they believe was a shooting that sent one victim to a local hospital. Now, at this time, they believe that the injuries for that victim are non-life-threatening. Of course, this is an evolving situation. I'm going to give you a little bit of the limited details that are available right now. They say that the car that you're looking at, if Davis can pan back to it, sustained property damage. There's no word on whether a suspect is in custody. This is an ongoing situation. Police are working to develop more details. The Walmart is closed right now for an undetermined amount of time. We're going to be here collecting details and bringing them to you as they become available at our website, abccolumbia.com, and of course tonight at 11. For now, live on Garners Ferry Road, Beth Russo, ABC Columbia News.
All right, thank you so much, Beth, for that report. Also, just to reemphasize there, Walmart on Garners Ferry is closed at this time. A parent's nightmare. Troopers say a toddler playing in his driveway was killed in a hit and run. Richland County Coroner Gary Watt says 3-year-old Kevin Kitt was backed over in the driveway of his home. The accident happened on Davis Road in Hopkins Monday afternoon around 4 o'clock. Watt says Kitt died just an hour after he was taken to the Palmetto Health Richland Hospital. Troopers are now looking for Corey Kitt. Authorities say he is wanted for leaving the scene involving the death of 3-year-old Kevin Kitt. Investigators say Kitt is known to frequent the Leesburg Road and Bluff Road areas of Hopkins. If you know where he is, please call the Highway Patrol or Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC. Staying on the crime beat tonight, Columbia police say they've arrested a man for punching a 2-year-old in the face. Investigators say Joshua Stevens is charged with unlawful conduct toward a child. Now, according to the police department, the child, who was in Stevens' care at a home on Bailey Street, had 2 black eyes as well as other injuries. The investigation into the deadliest mass shooting in American history, I should say, continues tonight. New information coming out now about the suspect behind the rampage at the gay nightclub in Orlando, also his wife. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez has the very latest.
When you laid beside individuals whose lives were brutally taken, the guilt of being alive is heavy.
Today, a heart-wrenching glimpse into the horror inside the Pulse nightclub Sunday morning.
He's shooting everyone that's already dead on the floor, making sure they're dead.
Survivors sharing their stories and mourning for the 49 people who were killed.
I never thought in a million years that my eyes could witness something so tragic. Looking at the souls leaving the bodies of individuals, looking at the killer's machine gun.
And now new insight into the planning of the massacre. The killer's wife, Nuar Mateen, now possibly facing charges. A law enforcement source telling ABC News she may have visited the site of the attack with Omar Mateen in the past and possibly knew what he was planning, though she reportedly claims she tried to talk him out of it.
He appears to have been an angry, disturbed, unstable young man who became radicalized.
This as the FBI investigates claims that Mateen was a regular at gay clubs, including Pulse, for years, and that he used gay dating apps to contact men. One speaking to ABC station KTRK.
When he was first contacted me, he was saying, asking what club, in his words, what clubs are popping and things of that sort, and what good places are to go.
And we're told Mateen may have scouted other potential locations for the attack, including nearby Disney properties, before deciding to target this nightclub where investigators are still collecting evidence. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Orlando.
I'm really concerned that we have just today had a moment of silence, and later this week, the 17th.
Is the gentleman stating a parliamentary inquiry?
Yes. Mr. Speaker, I'm particularly interested about 3 pieces of legislation that have been filed in response.
The gentleman's not sitting a parliamentary inquiry. The gentleman is not sitting a parliamentary inquiry. The clerk will report the title of the bill.
H.R. 5312. All right, that was a contentious exchange last night between South Carolina Congressman Jim Clyburn and Speaker of the House Paul Ryan. The interaction took place after a moment of silence was held for the victims of the Orlando shooting. Now, Clyburn was trying to ask GOP leaders when gun control legislation would be considered. Other Democrats also walked out during the moment of silence. Ryan declined to comment. Lexington County deputies are working to ensure they are ready should the unthinkable happen right here in our state. The Lexington County Sheriff's Department and other first responders held an active shooter exercise this afternoon at Chapin Alternative Academy. And deputies we spoke with say training like this is critical.
Well, it's just like, when I was in school, we did a lot of tornado drills and fire drills because they were planning for that. Unfortunately, now we have to plan for active shooters in our schools and workplaces and churches and nightclubs now. So everything is in getting ready.
The South Carolina National Guard also took part in today's exercise. All right, taking a break from news now, let's talk about our other big top story today, the thunderstorms that rolled through the Midlands. Chief Meteorologist John Farley joins us live right now in the Weather Center with the very latest. Hey, John.
Yeah, Alicia, they've quieted down quite a bit. Earlier today, it was very active, really, from about Camden down to even parts of Aiken County. There's a big swath of severe storms, but not the case now. The most active weather is here down toward Cameron and Ellery and Santee. We got a little action right in here, a line of storms there. As we zoom out, you'll see that there's some very active weather as you head north of Florence and north of Winnsboro. You can see toward Great Falls, we've got another active line right in there. And then final stop here takes us off to the west. This line is off, it's in Georgia right now, and it's just about to cross into South Carolina. The most likely scenario with this is that it'll continue to weaken as it moves towards Edgefield and then Saluda counties, but I'll keep tracking that as we go on through. Let's show you what's happening here in Columbia right now as we look outside. It's just cloudy. We had a pretty good storm go through earlier today, but right now we're looking at just some clouds. And the other thing that's happened here is check out the temperatures. It's cooled a lot where it's rained. Look at this. Columbia, we're at 83, Lexington 81, but still some places pretty warm. Camden 91, 88 in Manning. The other thing is you step outside, you'll notice, boy, it's awfully sticky. So there are the feels like temperatures. It still feels like about 100 degrees in Manning, again, because it is so sticky outside, and that's going to be with us through the evening and overnight. So here we go. There's the forecast. Some early storms, then things will quiet down, but the temperatures slow to cool. We'll be in the 70s, but we won't go much cooler than the mid-70s by the time you wake up early tomorrow morning. And then on the commute, yeah, another hot start. We're close to 80 by 8 o'clock, and tomorrow, again, will be similar to today, probably a few degrees less hot. The heat index at the peak of the day today, when you factor in the heat and humidity here in Columbia, was 108. Probably won't quite get there tomorrow, but still, tomorrow afternoon, mid-90s, sticky, and some late-day storms. Now, this pattern is with us. It'll be with us for a few more days, but then there's a big break. We'll talk about when that happens in just a few minutes.
All right, election 2016 going to the polls. Voters in the Midlands cast their ballots for the June primary. Now, we are watching some of the key races tonight. In Richland County, there's a Democratic showdown for sheriff. Retired SLED agent James Flowers is going toe-to-toe with incumbent Sheriff Leon Lott. Lott has held that position since 1996. In Lexington County, there are 3 candidates vying to succeed Donnie Myers as 11th Circuit Solicitor. And there are a number of races underway for Richland County Council seats amidst the council's recent issues with the penny tax program. There are candidates seeking positions in districts 3, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And an interesting note, there are actually 2 races going on for that District 10 seat, which was formerly held by Kelvin Washington, who was removed from council. A second race also will narrow down a field of 5 candidates looking to fill the seat in January. Well, state primaries are not known for bringing high voter turnout. In fact, the State Election Commission says usually about 14 to 27% of you cast your ballot. Well, after the rush of February's presidential primaries, today has been slow going. Our Grace Joyle reports from Hand Middle School tonight.
Quiet at Westside Baptist Church in West Columbia.
No lines, just walk in, driver's license, picture ID, and takes just a few minutes to do it.
Voters slowly trickling in to cast their vote in the South Carolina primary. A record 3 million registered voters in the state, but no records set this Tuesday. Across the river,
I vote on every election.
the ballots still slow to come in at Reformation Lutheran Church in Earlwood.
I'm very patriotic, and I feel like it's your American duty. If you can vote, you need to come out and vote.
Those of you who are passionate about the process.
You should always vote. You didn't have that many choices, but it's important that the person that you want to get in there, to put them in. Because if you don't vote, then you have no right to criticize the person that's in there.
It's a much different scene than what we saw in February, when 1.1 million of you voted in the presidential primaries. The primary focus is on the White House.
They'll come out better in November.
But remember, like every vote,
I think it's important to make sure that your voice gets heard. This is a right that not a lot of people are afforded in other places, and I think it's important to take advantage of everything that we have here.
every race counts.
There's still time to get to the polls. You have until 7 o'clock tonight. All you need is a photo ID to vote. A driver's license will do just fine. If you have questions about where to vote, just head to scvotes.org. At Hand Middle School, Grace Joyle, ABC Columbia News.
All right. Thank you so much, Grace. Yep, you have about 45 more minutes to cast your ballot. Up next, how you can help the Richland County Sheriff's Department fight cancer. Plus, a salute to the red, white, and blue. Stay close.